Oh yeah. You hear this music? Yeah. Maestro Ron Jackson. Seven string guitar. Yeah. I said, come on with me. Do the sway. Yeah. Ha! Get your chair, you're doing chair exercises, get your mat, get your weights if you want to lift weights, get your mat, you're gonna do some stretches. Line up, you're walking wall to wall, or walking in place. Jump on your bikes. And I'm walking down. Trying to see my feet and toe. Purpose. What do you get up in the morning to do? They cut me up until I'm just a gnome. Well, I know Great Rising, y'all. I know on this, been on this penal colony 65 years, 66 years this year. And to talk about exercise and stuff like that, unless you a skinny lady with big breastises and big arses, all they want to hear from me is what pain medication I'm taking and what doctor I'm going to. Great Rising. Thanks for coming on the walk, y'all. Like, comment, share, tell uncle, tell auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend. Subscribe. Yes. Yes, y'all. The winds are raging. I know they don't tell y'all this because y'all like cult connected. But that's the ethos. That's the ethos. That's moving all that stuff around, honey. And according to your thoughts that you put out there, it gets on the ether. And it goes even further than the internet. Yes. All that swirling. We so busy taking our energy to look at the devastation that we don't focus on rehabilitation. Okay? Because this is nature. But I know in this penal colony, white men are God. And a lot of people feel that this is white men doing this. Kick them out your country, African nations. Please, I pray. No, I don't do that no more. I want to say beseech, but I try to get away from all terms related to that book, Egyptian Book of the Dead. They said rewritten by Shakespeare. Anywho, I know the Douglases surely did change it. Yes, they did. And quite a few more. But anywho, the pimps in the pulpit, the con men, and the cult leaders say, that's the word from heaven. Yes. Yes, y'all. Get that blood to the brain. I noticed that I'm going to talk about a black man did it. No, two black men did it. But I noticed that after people start suffering from lack of oxygen and blood to the brain, they then try to send the oxygen and blood to the brain to save what's left, which is good. But you know you need it. Let the blood get there faster, just by walking a half hour of it, even 15 minutes. Now, I just want to take a moment to explain about my Facebook post. So yesterday, FB is driving me crazy. Talking about Instagram and some kind of something that I could pay for this, but I got it in my head. I was like, you know, I think they want me to take my debit. I don't have a choice right now. Information and put it over there. So I was like, no. No. If it's something like that, why you ain't emailing me? So I said, you know, this is a scammer. So I went into the Instagram account that I hadn't been in for a while because I put a lot of work into it and it got nothing. Like I said, I can control the videos that I made, and they were a lot of good videos. I can't control how they are distributed. So I stopped with that Instagram account because I had to decide. I can't be on the bottom of all these social media platforms. I have to pick the ones in which I'm going to be on the bottom of. And I have family and friends. I used to. I guess if they listen to this walk, hey Diane, she's been hanging there with me all the way through. I lost Joan after she asked me to share the walk on her page. So, so I'm over here on Facebook, bottom of the video pile. And that's okay. It's on the ethers like today. Like we talked about today. It's going to be on the ether, which I know goes much further. Okay. So, I finally find my password for Instagram. And I go on to find out what's going on. Of course, all my videos are gone. But I already had downloaded them. And I'm going in. I see the little red dot by the icon of the, like the outline of the body, the head and shoulders. And I go over there. Yeah, they want my debit credit information for whatever I would want to buy a star or pay or whatever. Always a scam. Always a scam. But you see, I remember, because I watched Mark when he had to go through the congressional shits, and I remember signing something saying, yeah, we're mine. It's been a minute. I think I had maybe even taken a screenshot of it. But it's been so long ago. Anyway, that's what I thought it was. I thought they were saying, hey, here's your cash from the thing. But again, I'm a little old lady at the bottom of the pyramid. On this penal colony, it's a trickle-down system. So even if there was a penny to be had, by the time it trickled down to me, it wouldn't be anything. No, I'm not giving you my debit information. Just like that. Not go to Instagram and throw those stars and stuff like that. Just like I'm not doing here. If you got a cash app, let me know, I can hit you up. But anything else, it's them getting a cut and they get so little. And it has been the story of my whole life on this penal colony. Yes, indeed, honey. But they just don't stop, messing with you. Anyway, 8 minutes already. How can you not exercise in the morning. The damn walk is already over. I didn't even start the conversation. Good thing we got a gulp and chat because I haven't even got to the point. And it's almost over. How can you not make sure your blood and body? Yeah, I'm on the treadmill, but y'all saw me. I was in Nevada. I walked for the freaking whole month. I walked the place for a freaking half hour. I gotta make sure this blood and oxygen get up here, y'all. Try to keep unclogged as many veins, wonderful veins and artillery and shit, artery and shit, artillery, ha, artery and shit. That's important to me. Making sure stuff make it all the way to the skin that I love, adore. We are family. Skin, teeth, toes, toenails, and pinky. Okay. Enough cracking me up. When I was growing up in the 60s in East New York, Brooklyn, patty rollers was all over. I can't think of crime that was committed that wasn't either done by a black man or the mafia. Nobody else to the newspaper, nobody else to the radio, nobody else to the TV committed crimes with these people. All the good things, all the nice things, all the wonderful things, all the things that they said innovative that we know now they stole from somebody else, that was touted. And the TVs, of course, which we became addicted to, they showed nothing but us as criminal crooks. They only wrote parts that apply to, or we could be a maid, or one nurse, Julia. We were able to be a nurse, Julia. Yep. Yep. Other than that, we were the reason for all the crime in New York City, the blacks and the Italians. Now, if truth be told, African nations, if you can send a historian over there into those Italian files and look down deep, you're gonna find a lot of stuff. And a lot of people that look just like you in ruling positions over there. Okay? They named them Sicilians. Okay? They label us. They came on this penal colony and started marrying the Polish and the Irish and lightened up right away, honey. Whew. Okay? Anyway, we were the only two in the newspapers. Only two. And in newspapers, TV, and television shows. And I remember as a child being kind of scared of us, especially black men, because anything and everything pertaining to them was so much violence. And there was no violence about white men. None. None. They wasn't serial killing. They wasn't reporting how they were serial killing now. They wasn't reporting how the little white kids was kidnapped and stuff like that. That was white people business, and they kept it out the newspapers. They definitely wasn't going to report no serial killer that was killing us, especially women. They still ain't doing that to this day. But then I'm going to get into a serial killer talk, and so it's time for us to take a little break. That's 15 minutes. You couldn't give your body this. You couldn't take your head, you couldn't take your head out of your daughter's business, your son's business, your granddaughter's business, to worry about your kidney business, your pancreas business, your bone business, your back business, your thigh business. I be so busy minding my business. I ain't got time for other people's. Especially when it comes to me getting out here and exercising. Okay. So, of course, half hour. We take not half hour. 15 minutes. Here we go. And we take our break. I want to say, old people, you can't even do this for yourself. But you can hustle up. I got me a doctor's appointment. I done seen old people run and run. Hell, going to sit there to sit for 2 to 3 hours in a freaking doctor's office. Well, oh no. Can't do a little 15-minute exercise. Save your toes and feet. Plus, when you walk with me, hey, y'all can go on iTunes and different things like that. Yeah, I'm walking, y'all. I'm gonna have to push this song. I think I'm gonna use it for my Back to Africa. Back to Africa, my hand clapping, hand clapping. Cause if I stop walking hey, for sure. I think I'm gonna have to put my laces back in my sneakers to support my ankle. I'm walking, y'all. Yes. Trying to save my feet. I know sometimes you get long breaks, sometimes you get short breaks, but this is at your pace. That's the name of it. Oh, that's just your pace. Here we go. Oh, let me turn that all the way down, right? Oh. Yeah, I may have to. Everyone's so excited on FB and everything that I'm going to Ghana next year. Manifestation, honey, done already started. I done seen myself in the streets, walking on the ground, kissing it. But I know that a lot of my friends are quite supportive. So the itinerary and the lineup and stuff like that, supposed to have more information on it in March. And then I'm going to start my Back to Africa movement. And y'all can buy the song I'm walking trying to save my feet and toes. Because everybody was happy that I was going back to Africa. I wish, we'll see, here we go. We on the ethers. Maybe some horrible racist will come and say, yeah, get the hell out. Get off this rock. And you can't tell me soon enough. So, I look at a lot of true crime and stuff like that. And I know it's reimaginated. But there's one where this white man killed his wife. Clearly, he had blood all over him. Oh, shoot up. Unlife. Listen, I'm already at the bottom of the pyramid. So, alright. killed his wife. And he had blood on him. He was upset. Even you can look at the scene, you knew it was him. So the policeman came over to him and he said, about 2 black men broke in here and attacked my wife. They said, are you okay? Are you okay? And then do. Instantly, they put out, be on the lookout. 2 black men. Down south, those citizens arrest people. That's why they have the pictures of us hanging from the tree. I often wondered, why would they, after all these years, over 100 years, still have pictures from generation to generation? Because they make money off it, of course. But why would they take the pictures? Because to them, it was citizens' arrest. It was citizens' arrest. So, when the lady said, she screamed, oh, back in the day, 1900, oh, oh, they robbed my house. Who did it? 2 black men. They turned around, if 2 black men was walking by, citizens arrest, citizen tried, citizen hung. 2 black men. They didn't have to be nothing. Then, back in the late 90s, these are only the ones that they slip out. And they slip out because they like saying it. When they say, oh, black men did it, they just want to prove that we are, that we're labeled born in blood and made criminals. Because as I stand here now, some 600 years ago, our ancestors, prisoners of war ancestors, were brought over here by the crowns of Europe. All of them. Germany too. The Switzer Castle family. Okay? If you ask yourself, the Sicilians, then when you go back to the Switzer German group of you say to yourself, Ethiopian. Alright? And then everybody else, they say more and other things. But, anyway. So, that's why they could hang them. It had nothing to do with racism. It had everything to do with the law that's still on the books that allows them to do that. Even to this day, you still ain't finding the bones. They're missing people. They only missing to the family that don't know where they are. But to those citizens arrest, citizen tried, and citizen hanged or killed, that's still going on this penal colony, they know exactly where your loved ones are. They're allowed to do it. So I'm looking at TV, and you're thinking times have changed like that. The last big one was with the doctor who stabbed up his pregnant wife in Boston and said, 2 men. And they went flipping every African American they could find. Come to find out it was him, he killed his wife. They had been doing it for so many years. So many souls. So I get so many vibrations, I can't even tell you. They've been doing it for freaking years. It's called citizens arrest. Citizens try, citizens convict. And they're allowed to do it. Kick them out, African nations. Kick them out. It's not true. It's not true. They just started keeping records of how sick they are. And when you look at them, the majority of what our ancestors were hung and killed for and imprisoned for, they did it. You know how happy I was that Rex Huberman, the Long Island serial killer, alleged didn't have no black friends? I was so happy. I was so happy. I was so happy. We have learned to stay away from them because we'll catch it worse than they will. There was something called, what is it called? Something Period. It was a comedy with these two ladies and Rhode Island rich people. And it was a court trial coming on. It stretched over like 2 episodes. But someone had been killed or something, and they was trying to find who did it. And of course, they bring one of the brothers and threw him in jail. Somebody close to him threw him in jail. And of course, who was in the jail with him? Yes, black people. Then, the brother that was thrown in jail starts talking to the black man, you know. And then when they went to court, everybody was in the court. Black man was the only one in there. And then they had it set up that what he said, when they asked him if he was guilty or not, people who were in the courthouse audience would stand up and said, I did it, I did it, I did it. They was all white people. So the judge was like, who, what? And the white ladies, I did it, white men, I did it. That African American, that black ass said, I did it. And they all turned and pointed the finger at him and said, he did it. The brother was let out of jail and they hung the black man. Oh. Oh. It was funny if you saw it. I can't remember. It was something period. Another period or something like this. It's on Comedy Central. Anyway, I'm leaning forward because I don't have my stomach thing. So, I knew that when the generations look back, and they look back on this generation, first of all, get that baby boom bullshit out your fucking head when it comes to us. We were leaving the penal colonies in the South and coming north. For them, it was the V-Day and Germany to this and Germany to that, while they were still over here hanging, killing us, taking land, doing all kind of fuck shit. Black, white bathrooms, all kind of crap. But it was boomers. They came back from the war, and everything was a booming. No, I'm insulted. Don't refer to me as no motherfucking boom. Trust me. The bitches that got the boom is the legislative wardens, the executive wardens, and the judicial warden. And guess what? They booming our asses up. Okay? They're the total privilege. They are the basis of white superiority. They's the one that learned in school as I sat there and learned how wonderful, great, powerful, and magnificent they are. And now, they're your wardens. So I often wonder, how would our children look back at us? So this penal colony Definitely old people. Nothing. We're just like folks in the brick and mortar prison, just waiting to die. Getting the minimum, being blind. I know eventually when I was young and they used to show the old women with the titties hanging and the hair in the face and stuff like that, to just have them looked upon as disgusting beings. I said, oh my goodness, if I live to be old enough, that's what these generations are going to see me as. The unfuckable. And now I'm here. Not like I didn't try to stop it. But I voted since I was 19 and all I got was this t-shirt. Ooh. I'm going to try stopping her when I do the wrong thing. Okay. Whew. I also use it for the clock, but okay. Alright. Tuck in your elbows. Squeeze your gut. Not up, no down. I got 8-pound weights. I don't know what you got. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's good luck? Yeah. Honey, when I was making my bed and I had to lift that mattress, I had no problem with lifting these weights. I just lift that thing up, took that fitted sheet, put it up there while I was holding it up, and I was like, whew. Squeeze your gut, tuck in your elbow, neither up nor down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one's good luck. Like, comment, share, tell uncle, tell auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend, subscribe. Thanks for coming on the walk. My name is Vicky, coming to you live, loud on the Penal Colony, aka USA, aka America. And I'll see you tomorrow for those who ain't staying for the chat, for the sip and go. So, when I left the cult, the Southern cult, and came back to New York, because I was born in New York, I was down south, I came back to New York, and they were doing the same thing, but worse. Shooting us big time, arresting, still coming into the community, just like we saw in Harlem, just like we saw in East New York, the patty rollers. Nothing had basically changed for us. Still only be shown apartments in certain areas that you live. They call it red zoning. So no matter how much you search, if you went outside the area, the apartments were never available for you because you weren't the right color. My mistake, not because you weren't the right color, is because you're labeled born in blood inmate criminal. Because 600 years ago, your ancestors, your African ancestors, were prisoners of war of the crowns of Europe and imprisoned on this penal colony, and every child born after that enslaved. They didn't want no inmates in their building. They didn't want no criminal inmates in their building, and they didn't want no criminal inmates on the block. It's the label that this penal colony gave us. And then they do the matrix and have you call it racism. It's not. It's not. It's the law of the penal colony. The law of the penal colony, if they take in an African American tenant, their property values decrease. Who sets that up? The banks. Who sets that up? The banks on this penal colony. Again, goes back to the penal colony. And the fact that we're labeled born in blood inmate criminals. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to rent no apartment to no inmate criminal. I'm telling you. That's why we were always in the press. We was always the shooters, the rapists, the killers, kill the white women. Always, 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 always. Sometimes I'm surprised now how fast they find the husbands, because when I was a child growing up in New York City and as a young adult in New York City, every time a white woman was killed, it was a black man. Who did it? A black man. What did you saw? A black man running? And if it was the reverse, where a white man was killed, two black men. What did you see? Two black men that came and killed her, they ran away. And the wife killed her. But they don't look. She said, if she said it was the black people, they shut everything. Like I told you about I maybe didn't finish. About the true crime show. Clearly, they were going for the husband. This is recent, like 2022. They was going for the husband because now they know the closest to, they call it intimate partner violence. But when they looked at him, he looked at the cops, he said, it was two black men, and everything changed. Sir, are you sure you're right? Instantly put out a bolo, I was like, they still getting away with that? But then yeah, this penal colony. He was able, when he said two black men, it was enough for the police to look away from him. Then he took care of closing up their bank accounts, getting her money out, doing all this stuff, because the minute he said it was a black man, all focus was off him. Nobody froze the bank accounts. Nobody talking about that. Nothing. He was able to sell a house in the whole 9 yards until they finally realized there wasn't no black people. They was, oh, maybe I was mistaken. But my point is, all you got to say is it was black men. It was two black men. So I knew how this would affect us as I got older. Because, I mean, I made the calls, I did the marches, I did the letters when I had to change, when they allowed me to have a little money. Because, let's put it like this. In order for me to have enough money to retire, I'd have to wait until I died. It wasn't set up like that for me. When you get close to getting something, they fire you. They have all kinds of tricks and stuff. Kick them out of the country, African nation. Kick them out. Kick them out. They don't like you. They don't like us. Kick them out. So I often wondered, how would that reflect? Especially with the crack epidemic. When I hear my daughter talk now, I said to myself, if I had not gotten us out of there, I mean, all the things that I taught her to say, that's not us, that's them. They was dropping it. All that guns, they was dropping it. When I say they, I'm saying Oliver North and Reagan and these Hatfields, McCoy, Dim, and Republicans on this penal colony. Their whole thing is extinction of us. And you just don't see it. But I beg you, African countries, see it. See it. Keep all your resources and build yourself up. Because that's what they're afraid of. And that's why they're trying to drain the resources. South Africa, get rid of them blows. Send them over here to this penal colony up in Washington. All them skinhead, Q heads, geese heads, Z head, and all kind of heads up like that is they'll be right at home there. And in no time, they will be filling up the brick and mortar prisons. But that would give us a little relief. Of course, unless you put them in jail for coming us. But South Africa, flip them. Flip them, flip them, flip them. They came from the Germans. They came from the Germans. And the Germans hated the Ethiopians. Because that's who invaded them from Africa. And that's where you get your Hebrew people. Child, I forgot to turn this off. Kick them out. Kick them out. Kick them out, and trust me, you won't have time to fight one another, African nations, once you kick them out, because I know these buzzards. I know these buzzards. I know these buzzards, they're going to try to turn around and do everything to attack you. And you do got other countries out there. You got India, you got China, you got Russia. Go to them. Because on this penal colony, they just going to take all their energy and give it to the white man to destroy you. Because they think that the reason why their skin is dark is because of sin. So when these African American, especially these cult people, when they look at you Africans, they don't see, they don't know the history, they don't know all the glory, they don't know the power, they don't know the might. All they know is they gotta hate us. Us. They call it black on black crime. That's what they teach. I tell you, my sister went to Africa and I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed when she went to Africa. Embarrassed. Because she went over there bringing Jesus and the word to save the heathens, who is dark, cause of sin. In my head, I always thought when you went to Africa that you need to kiss the ground. You need to find the elder somewhere. You need to leave some cash. You need to leave some advancement plans. Not going over there spending this coke poison. You taking over to Africa that women are whores? Please get them out, African nations. First time I really got the word holy was from church. And definitely the meaning of it. And how I was supposed to be happy that Jesus' best friend was a prostitute. I couldn't understand that. I said, well, prostitutes are bad. And they said that's what Jesus wants, bad people. And so all my life I've been good. So I kind of know I'm on the peripheral of those cults because they want bad people. Because that's what they say. So African nation, I'm trying to tell you, don't look for them. Don't look for us. Don't look for us. We don't have it. We have been total poison. They walk around with their African hats, and they chat. Oh, you reported the poor Africans. I done told y'all the story. I remember sitting at the table, eating our government food, and my mother telling me how we do it a lot better than the people starving in Africa. I couldn't see that. I couldn't understand that. We had stale bread and government cheese. And peanut butter, the oil used to be on top this thick. And that's the same thing that they were sending over to the little African kids. Now when I look back at it, because I couldn't understand, I was like, they didn't have to go that far to Africa, but what they're going to, they wasn't going to give them food. They wasn't going to, it was to get in there so they can start their hate, so they can get their cults in. That's what they sent first through. The cults, first in, first in, first in. They're the first one that made you subservient. I remember, I know I'm jumping around, but I remember the first time I found out about that Catholic church in Mexico, where the parishioners have to start crawling 1.5 miles before they got to the door. I was enraged. I was obsessed. Now I know that's subjugating the people. Until this day, the Mexicans are still crawling. Except when it comes to us, they hate it. Ooh, please. Because that's that Spain. Remember I told you the European crowns? And they speak Castile. So they straight from. And I know black people say, oh, I went to Mexico, and they be telling stories. Oh, the Mexicans helped them. And I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it in the. I don't see it in the history. I don't see it now. Walking day to day. No, I don't see it. Oh, the Mexicans. If you ran to Mexico, they would help you out as a slave. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying it didn't happen as much as the storytellers tell. When you can stand over people, when you have a group of people stand up, and this is the penal colony where we are, so we're the bottom, labeled and placed at the bottom. And everyone else steps on top of us and then steps on, and that's the way it goes. So I'm hard pressed really to believe. I just don't see it. Now I met some dynamite Mexican folks. I mean great. On this penal colony. Not in Mexico. Everything, every vibe in me, and every vibe around me says, niet. So they know us as the baby boomers, but they know we ain't boom because we was in the ghetto. So they know we didn't boom, but the white people boomed it. Then they know us as being the folks that went through the crack epidemic, as I told you, vials all over the place. My daughter remembered the vial days in Brooklyn. And then the AIDS came by a doctor off this penal colony. It's documented and everything. And started wiping us out, like I said, by design. So those who, was left and had, like I already had my kids and stuff like that, but a lot of kids lost their parents, definitely in Africa. Villages and shit was wiped out, but kick them off your colony. It's called um, The Journey. The history from the first thing. I mean, he tracked that, documents and everything. Dennis Hooper, African Nations. Go get it. You'll see exactly. Belgium got a hate doctor out of Philadelphia. Supposed to be fighting polo. But wound up giving them shots from this SIV monkeys, which is what you take the polio and put it in before it's injected. That way the body will accept it without the polio. So, okay. I just read the book. I don't know anything. I'm not USDA stamped. I just read a lot. I still listen to a lot of books. But then I was reading. I wish The Journey was an audio cassette book. But I had to read it twice. I was like, what? What? What the heck? And that's how I wound up in Africa. So I said, how do they feel about me? And I knew the ancestors vibe, that I have no respect for you, that I have no love for you, and they don't. They don't. They don't. Now the white baby boomers, they all in all, we were the children of the migrants. They migrated from those horrible penal colonies in the South. They just didn't know they were coming to horrible penal colonies in the North and the West. But we did a lot of proud things. We did a lot of grand things. And I know I did. No, I wasn't twiddling my fingers. I was marching. I was voting. I told y'all, I didn't know after voting age of 19, all I would get was this t-shirt. You can never be as shocked as me. I'll never fill in a dot again, but it doesn't matter on a penal colony who your warden is. Wardens are assigned. Wardens are placed. They're never elected. And after 19 years, all I got is this t-shirt because I got no laws lifted from my voting. I used to campaign and all that kind of stuff. Just as bad now. They got guns at the voting polls, just like when my mother and them was trying to go for the vote. They had dogs and fire hoses and stuff like that. We had AKR rifles and folks walking around with guns in their pockets, guns concealed all over the place. Last time I went to vote, I had a feeling that they was going to pluck me off. No. All for what? A warden is assigned. It's not voted. That's why you have the electoral college. That tells you right there. And I know they said electoral college is a bunch of representatives from the so-and-so state and the blah, 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 lies, lies, lies. Kick them out of Africa. They're the biggest lies in the world. That's the crown, honey. The electoral college. That's the crowns. They pick who the executive warden is. They pick who the executive wardens are. That's why you have the electoral college. And that's why I'm voting, the Voting Rights Act bill gone. Any executive warden can send guns to shoot us, to keep us from voting, to shut down polls and move them. Any of them can. Excuse me. Ooh, what'll go down? What come up? Ooh, yeah, honey. Ha ha ha. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Water go down, gas come up. Nope. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. They pick who's gonna get in there and who they want to get in there. And it's all some kind of political game on this penal colony. It's not a country. It's a colony with penal states, like penal sections. Maximum security, minimum security. We just have the ability to run around from penal colony to penal state to penal state. Whereas in the brick and mortar prison, when you're in there, you're where they put you until they move you. And again, I'll reiterate for you. Back in enslavement days, when they moved us, it wasn't no auction, it wasn't all that bullshit. Basically, it's the same premise that they use now in the brick and mortar prisons. They rotate you. They have to rotate you out, especially if you're a prisoner that gives them problems, sometimes health issues. But basically, they send you to other penal colonies because that's the way to control you. Back in enslavement days, when you saw and Roots, Kizzy, oh my baby, oh, I keep it. Don't fall for the bullshit. Kizzy's labeled born in blood and made criminal. She's a labeled born in blood and made criminal. Every child she had is a born in blood and made criminal. They don't want you to group like that. Look at the brick and mortar prisons. They said, what do? Stay by yourself, keep your nose clean, and do your time. Come back out here on the penal colony. It applies the same way. Keep your nose clean, stay to yourself, mind your business, and you get on. Keep your nose clean, and you can get on. Brick and mortar prison, they monitor groups. On the penal colony, they monitor group. Stop grouping. Stop talking about, oh, we can never get along. Why can't we stick together? You're on a penal colony, bitch. You stick together, you go into the brick and mortar prisons. It's not allowed in any of the penal states. I done told you, the Bushes and the Reagans done pulled that out. Where the patty rollers and they was doing it. Throwing your ass up against the wall if he saw 2 or 3 of y'all mixing. Y'all really need to get out the matrix. Hey y'all. Thanks for coming on the walk. Like, comment, share. Y'all know after Labor Day we stop Gulp and Chat. It's July, August, and a little September. Because it's getting cold here on the northeast. So, that's where we are. Like, comment, share. Tell a uncle, tell a auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend. Subscribe. Love yourself, love yourself, love yourself. You and your family. Your eyeballs need you. Your feet need you. Your knee needs you. Thanks for coming on the walk. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.